Hi everyone, my name is Ryan Banner. I'm going to be presenting today as members of my group and I will be discussing Columbia Memorial Hospital. We're going to be doing a break-even analysis on the hospital. We were given a case study, and together with Heather Beck, Josh Jarvis, Mary DeJanku, and Lexi Guyman, we're going to be discussing the break-even analysis of Columbia Memorial Hospital. So I'm just going to enter the presentation and we'll get started. All right, so Columbia Hospital is facing financial struggles as it tries to figure out what to do with one of its clinics. Columbia Clinic is not performing well and is losing the hospital money each year. The staff is absolutely maxed out and cannot handle more patients. Due to the growing competition in the area, Columbia Hospital needs to decide whether or not they should close Columbia Clinic. We analyzed what would happen if Columbia Clinic continued to operate and what kind of performance would be necessary to break even. As you can see, the clinic's financial performance loses money each year. As you can see in the financial statement, towards the bottom, the net profit is actually at a loss in each line item of the graph. There were 6 questions assigned to us. So question number 1, using the historical data as a guide, construct a pro forma forecasted profit and loss statement for the clinic's average month for all 2010, assuming the status quo. With no change in volume, is the clinic projected to make a profit? The total visits were 1,350 on average, meaning that our revenue was gained by 45 visits on average per day. Our total revenues were $54,888. Our total variable costs were $26,038. Our total contribution margin was $28,850. Our fixed costs were $32,023, leaving us with a negative net profit of $3,173. With no change in volume or utilization, the clinic is not projected to make a profit. Question number 2. Now consider the clinic's situation without a new marketing program. How many additional daily visits must be generated to break even? Construct a break-even graph that can be introduced in your report. In this one, I can tell you that our total revenues minus total variable costs minus fixed costs equals profit. Our total variable cost per visit was $19.29. Our total revenues per visit was $40.66. This means that to gain profit, we need to make $32,023. And the volume on average needs to be 1,498 and 50 visits per day. As you can see in the graph below, before the marketing plan is in place, we will need 1,499 visits in order to break even. This means that we need to do at least 5 additional visits per day or 50 visits per day to break even. Question number 3. Repeat the question 2 analysis, but now assume that the new marketing program is implemented. The number of additional visits per day actually amounted to 10 additional visits. Below in this diagram, you can see that there are several factors involved in creating this analysis. In this PowerPoint slide, I'm going to show you that we need 1,792 visits, which means that's 10 additional visits per day, 60 visits per day to break even. And you can see down there at the bottom the diagram of what will be needed. Question number 7. Suppose you just found out that $3,215 monthly malpractice insurance charge is based on an accounting allocation scheme that divides the hospital's total annual malpractice insurance cost by the total annual number of inpatient days and outpatient visits to obtain a per episode charge. Then the per episode value is multiplied by each department's projected number of patient days or outpatient visits to obtain each department's malpractice cost allocation. Does this allocation scheme bias your break-even analysis? Explain. We said that given the $3,215 monthly malpractice costs, this would completely change our break-even analysis. because the malpractice insurance cost would be semi-variable instead of a fixed cost. Our break-even analysis would have to be updated even more to compensate for this new semi-variable cost. We're losing money either way. If we have more or less patients, it doesn't make a difference. Question number 8. After all the work performed thus far in the analysis, you suddenly realize that the hospital as a for-profit corporation must pay taxes. What impact does tax status have on your break-even analysis? As we looked over our break-even analysis, we realized that it doesn't account for taxes and will cause our profit to shrink below the break-even point. To achieve a real break-even point after taxes, we must calculate the following. So we need to calculate our desired break-even point before taxes, and then take the current break-even point and divide it by 1 minus the tax percentage. This formula will allow us to know how much is needed to break even after taxes are accounted for. Question number 9. Does the clinic have any value to the hospital beyond that considered by the numerical analysis just conducted? Do the actions by Baptist Hospital have any bearing on the final decision regarding the clinic? To give you a little bit of background, Baptist Hospital bought out another clinic in the area, and their executives said that they have more plans to buy out and acquisition further clinics in the area. Columbia Hospital does not have any value in keeping their walk-in urgent care facility. No matter what they do to market for additional patients, they still aren't able to turn a profit. In regards to the action by Baptist Hospital having any bearing in our financial decision, whether or not we keep the walk-in urgent care facility, we would say no. Because the knowledge we already had, regardless of our efforts in marketing for more patients, we will still be unable to break even, let alone make a profit. Since our main competitor already capitalized in that department with their recent purchase, then it gives us all the more reason to bite the bullet and do away with the walk-in facility. Question number 10. What is your final recommendation concerning the future of the walk-in clinic? We said that we feel that our final recommendation, instead of leaving it as a walk-in urgent care facility and continue to bleed money, that the hospital should close the clinic and pay the accompanying lease penalty of 3 months rent, accounting to $37,500. This way, we as a hospital will ultimately be cutting our losses and eventually be able to break even and financially make a profit. And that's our break-even analysis. In this break-even analysis, we felt that we should close the clinic for good. So that's our presentation on Columbia Hospital. If you do have any questions, just let us know in the discussion board. Thanks.